going live. We are on Instagram. Let's take a look at Instagram before we get this started. We're going to talk about Iran today, guys. And away we go. Guys, we're going to talk about Iran a little bit. We're going to get into a few things that we need to talk about, regarding Iran. And also we're going to get into Maduro. We're going to get into Trump. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff today. Thanks for joining the stream. See you guys on Instagram coming in. Thank you. Glad to have you guys. And we're going to have a good time. Let me turn my sound up a little bit for you. Let me take a look at YouTube. Let's take a look here. Let me just refresh a few things. Guys, I just started the live stream. Thank you for joining. Hang tight for me while I just take a look at a few settings to make sure we're looking pretty on YouTube. I need to adjust a few things here as well. Let's go here. All right, here we go. We're going to make subscribers only so we don't get the trolls going crazy. We're set up now. We're looking good. All right. Let's go to our analytics. Okay. Everything's good. Again, what's up with you guys in Instagram? Hello. Good to have you. We're going to jump into a few things. So you guys know Iran is protesting. If you don't know, well, now you know. Major protests in Iran going down. Probably the biggest. I don't think it's a probably anymore. I think it is the big. Let me turn my sound up a little more here. There we go. Is that better? That looks better. Yeah, that's better. Anna Kemp, hello. Good to have you. And yeah, so they are already crazy. You're absolutely right. But I will say with Iran, if you're not familiar with what's happening in Iran, guys, here is your live stream update. Iran is having, they're in the middle of the biggest protest they've ever had in the history of their country ever since 1979. And so that's 47 years of them being under this brutal, tyrannical dictatorship and Islamic Republic regime, a government that's been terrorizing its own people. They've been protesting against it for a long time, and they are standing up now once again. But this time, it looks like they will be getting the country back. It looks like Persians will become finally freed from Islam and freed from tyranny, and freed from the combination of Islam and tyranny, which is a nasty combination. So it's a big deal. We're super excited. I am of Persian. I'm a product of Persian immigrants, so I am very excited as well. My parents may get to see a free Iran like it used to be before they left, or when they left the country. They may get to see that again. So I'm really excited about that. I wasn't sure I'd ever get to see it in my lifetime. Looks like I may be able to see that just yet. So I got a few things here. I got the Shah of Iran, not the Shah of Iran, but the Crown Prince of Iran. And I'm going to play a little bit and see what's going down. What's up, Eric? Good to have you. Free Iran would be an effing dream. Yes, sir, buddy. You are absolutely correct. We are all going nuts. Anna Kemp says, I used to lifeguard a group of them in Louisville, Kentucky. Awesome. Love to hear it. And so anyway, guys, we're going to kick it off and we're going to jump. You know what? Let's jump in with this one right here. This is the Crown Prince of Iran sitting down and having an interview with Hannity. Here we go.
All right, we turn our attention back to Iran tonight. We're getting multiple reports. The radical government there is now potentially on the verge of collapse. Here with reaction, the leader of the Iranian opposition, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, is with us. Reza, good to talk to you again. Welcome back. Thank you for being with us. Okay, for those that don't know, you were born in Iran. The Shah of Iran, deposed by
He is the son of the Shah of Iran. There was a Shah prior to 1979. There was a Shah in power. The leftist, socialist, Islamic people of Iran decided they would rather have this crazy radical Islamic regime come in and run the country because it promised them free things. And they did that. They overthrew the Shah. This guy that you're looking at on this side of your screen is the son of the Shah. He is what they call the crown prince of Iran. He is the guy that Persians are all calling to come back to rule the country again. He has said many times he's not sure if he wants to run the country. He'd like to be a liaison as an intermediary, someone that helps a transition. But he will, if it's the will of the people, or if it's what the people want, he would do that. So, there's a lot to talk about, but let's listen to what he has to say, and we'll go from there.
The Ayatollah Khomeini, in that revolution, what was it, 1976 or 7? And Iran has been a brutal, murdering theocracy ever since. What are your sources telling you within Iran is going on there?
Well, Sean, first of all, thank you for having me on your program. It's been too long since we last spoke. Look, in all these years, I've never seen an opportunity as we see today in Iran. The Iranian people are more than ever committed to bring an end to this regime, as the world has witnessed in the last few days. The level of demonstrations, unprecedented in Iran, over 100 cities and millions of people on the street chanting death to the dictator, an end to this regime. And by God, it is about time that Iran gets its opportunity to free itself from a tyrannical regime.
I saw reports on social media and video on social media.
Now, when you listen to the Crown Prince speak, he's going to be a little bit more eloquent than I am. Who am I? I'm just a commentator. I'm just the guy on your screen. I'm just a live streamer. I will say what I want, when I want, how I want, to a certain degree. He's not going to talk about Islam that much. You're almost never going to hear him talk bad about Islam. I think he is a crown prince. He's someone that is trying to, do the right thing, appease to everyone. And he wants, obviously, if people want to be Muslim, he wants people to be able to practice freedom of religion, which I agree with. I agree with that. I don't agree with Islam working its way into becoming the government of any country. It's currently the tyrannical government of Iran. Of 100%, that's the whole reason. That's what all the Persians are protesting, is the Islamic regime of Iran. They want it gone. Now, just so you guys know, almost nobody that is Persian, you will be very hard pressed to find a Persian who is Muslim by choice. They've all become Muslim by force, from Arabs back in the day when Arabs conquered Persia, and then now with the Islamic regime that took over in 1979, once again, they were forced to be Muslim. So, but Muslims are willing to kill themselves to be free from Islam. But you're not going to hear that from the Crown Prince. He's going to be a little bit more I don't know if the word is eloquent, but he's just going to, say the right thing, even though all of us know that Islam has been a major problem for Persians since the beginning of Islam.
You can't confirm it, but it looked pretty real to me. Maybe you can confirm it for me. Police on the roof of police stations laying down their arms, showing solidarity with the protesters. Are you getting reports? Is that accurate? And do you have any intelligence that that Ali Khamenei is in fact, does he have a plan B to go to Russia?
Where does the Crown Prince live? I don't know. I believe he lives in America, but I'm not really sure, to be quite honest. I know that he studied in America and he became, I believe, he trained to be a fighter pilot in America in Texas, I believe, but I got to look into that.
Sean, one thing that is significant, and I would like to draw the attention of those who have followed what happened in Iran nearly half a century ago, the role that the bazaar, which is the traditional bourgeoisie, plays in Iranian politics. And today we've seen unprecedented scenes in the Iranian bazaar of merchants and joining with the protesters. And it has been my strategy to call upon the military personnel and people, the armed forces, to lay down their arms and join with the people, to be part of the solution, to be able to have an exit strategy we offer them as a national reconciliation. We see that quite evident. And this is very important because when you're facing an extremely brutal regime, and when we think of the post-collapse stability of a smoother transition, it will be impossible without the tacit cooperation and collaboration of the military forces. The fact that they have heeded my call, and I've sent them another message of clarify your position, you're either with the people or stand vis-a-vis them, we are beginning to see more and more defections. I launched this campaign about 6 months ago. We have received tens of thousands of applicants who would like to join. It's not just limited to the military and paramilitary forces, Sean. It also includes the civil bureaucracy, people who are working in government ministries, all of them be part of the solution that will end up bringing this regime to its knees. Now, as to Khamenei's status and whether he's ready to bail out, who knows? But
so guys, a little clarification. You guys are saying if that's what's happening with the police, that's freaking wild. Yes, Eric, that's it's absolutely wild. What's happening right now is basically Persians, in Iran, the civilians have gone to the police stations and have been able to successfully take over police stations. So that is a major update, a major development that's happened, and it signals the most how would you say successful protest Iranian Persians have ever done since this regime has taken power in 1979. Despite all the different protests that have occurred ever since I've been born, and we've all heard about all of these women, life, freedom, and all these different protests that have happened in Iran. This one that is currently underway right now is the most successful protest in Iran. It's the biggest, and it's the most that people have ever been able to do. Capture a police station it's unheard of. So we're very much on the verge of the collapse of the Islamic tyrannical government.
Either way,
Min, what's up, Min? Min says, Bai has his age. Has he ever ran Iran? No. Min, are you asking about Reza Pahlavi? So the crown prince has never ran the country. He was exiled with his father. His father was the king of Iran. So this, again, guys, this guy on your screen, Reza Pahlavi, was the son, or is the son of the king who passed away. The king of Iran was exiled when the Islamic tyrannical government took power in 1979. And this guy is his son. And he is what they call the crown. He is the crown prince. I don't need to do this air quote. He is the crown prince of Iran. And so he is the son of the exiled Shah. And he is you would say, heir to the throne. And he is the person actually that everyone in Iran right now protesting is yelling his name. And they're begging for him to come back and rule over them because they are completely, utterly finished. They want nothing to do with Islam or the current government that's running the country. They're yelling, death to the dictator that's running their country now, the Ayatollah Khomeini, or Khamenei, and they are saying, long live the Shah, which when they say that, they're talking about the crown prince that you see on the left of your screen.
The regime is crumbling and is very close to collapsing.
What part of
TH5579 in the chat says, I thought he said on the Patrick Bet-David podcast that he wasn't going back to Iran. That's not exactly what he said. He said that he is not actively seeking to become the ruler of Iran unless it's what the people want. That's what he's doing. He wants to be, he said he's happy to be a liaison, someone that will help a transition to a new government, someone to be there to help the people and make their lives better in a transition that's going to occur, at the time of a collapse. Now, he has recently said, and has been pretty outright about this, that he is willing to be the leader of Iran if that's what the people are wanting, and he wants to make sure that everyone wants that. He wants to do that via ballot boxes and let people vote. So we're gonna learn more about that. I actually have a couple videos to go through to see what exactly he did say. You're gonna see there's another interview I have with him on Tusi, and we're gonna see exactly what's going down.
President Trump dismantling their nuclear program, do you believe played a part in this rising rebellion, number one?
I got Miss Medication over here trying to give me a hug. Come over here.
Hello, everybody.
What was that little sound you got?
Hello.
You want?
No. I just got back from visiting my baby's friend. My baby's friend? My friend's baby.
Your friend's baby. Miss Medication just came back, and she's going to go make me some steak, right? Some filet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? You got to get back in the kitchen.
Yeah, I need some. And what else? Filet and sweet potato.
Boy.
Let's go.
And number two,
let's do this.
Are you planning
Hell yeah.
to go back
Thank
to
you.
Iran? You have not been there in many, many years. It was 1979 when the Ayatollah came back. He was in exile in France at the time. Do you plan on going back? Do you plan on having free elections? Have you thought about it?
I'm going to let him talk in just a second, but I have to get to this question from Eric in the chat. Eric is saying, do you think that they see what Trump is doing and it is indirectly giving these oppressed countries hope? 100%. I've said this 1,000 times. Trump getting elected last year and being our president in 2020, I'm sorry, 2 years ago now, 2025, and doing all the things that he's done he is an inspiration for the rest of the world. He is leading by example. He's setting an example. He's showing people what can be done in their countries, England, France, Australia, Canada, Iran. All these countries are seeing this and they're going, dude, why are we just sitting here letting our governments take advantage of us? This is our country. Yes, these are all your own countries. You guys everyone should be standing up for their own countries. Take your countries back. These are your countries. What are you doing? Don't just sit there and wake up and go to bed and wake up and go to bed and do nothing. You got to get up. This is your country. You can do it. We did it. We voted for Trump. This is really what it is. You got to stand up for your country.
Sean, at the call of my compatriots, I've stepped forward to lead this transition from this tyranny to a future democracy. My role is to help my compatriots achieve that goal, to bring about a peaceful end by means of a national referendum and a constitutional assembly. I'm impartial as to what the ultimate result will be, so long as it's a secular democracy. I've trained all my life to serve my nation. I'm there to serve and help them achieve that goal. And I'm more than ever ready to step in Iran as soon as the situation warrants itself. And I'll be there with my compatriots to lead the ultimate battle.
Reza Pahlavi, thank you so much for being with us, and I pray for freedom for the people.
Yes, we're hoping for the freedom of Iranians as well. Gregory Borowski in the chat says, "Are you kidding? Are you joking? I don't know what you mean, bro." But he says, "Blocked. I voted for Trump 3 times. I'll do it again." Amazing, bro. Love it. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what you meant, Greg, by your other chat. He says medication. Oh no, what is it? What's up, bro? Do you disagree with something? Let us know, bro. Let us know. Eric in the chat says, I heard a radio interview with Karen Bass in LA, and her and the hoes who were calling Trump a fascist, totally sick and disgusting. They defended Maduro. Of course they're going to defend Maduro, bro. Of course they will. All right. Here is another interview. This is with Mahir Tusi. So let's listen to this. Let me turn this up.
Troops to be on the ground or anybody to go liberate the Iranians. And obviously about his plan when he was speaking to me. This is where the main point of all these conversations coming, because obviously you're clear, people in Iran are clear, they don't necessarily want American troops to be on the ground or anybody to go liberate the Iranians. And obviously this is where the mainstream media have been asking you the repetitive question, we're not going to do it the same way. The other day say, oh, do you want to be king? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Public office. We do know that your priority is currently to obviously be the advocate and obviously help with the transition to bring back secularism and democracy back to Iran. And I can personally say that you have become...
So again, guys, just to make sure you understand what's happening, the guy on the right side of your screen is, again, the Crown Prince, the son of the Shah of Iran. And I got to say, someone here, Rick Young says, I remember his dad, the Shah, he was a monster. If you're brainwashed, yes.
Become the legitimate...
If you know anything about history and about what happened with Iran and what the Shah did in Iran and what that is not true.
It's incredible, obviously, voice for the people that I think that they were missing for decades. I know you were there, but obviously they had to get their timing ready and everything else. And I think they were a little bit divided for the past 30, 40 years. What is your plan? What is your role in this? Do you have a set of plans?
Well, it's truly, the campaign is a 5-point plan that involves 5 major components. The first one being, how can we strengthen the ability of our fellow competitors?
I want to get to this. I want to answer these questions really quick. And Instagram, Tracy says, what's the deal about Ayatollah wanting to go to Russia? Guys, Ayatollah is a current dictator of the Islamic regime. He is the current, a president or dictator, whatever you want to dictator, going back to Russia. He was the Ayatollah Khomeini, the dictator that's currently running that country that Persians want to get out of there. That guy was talking about fleeing to Russia. Yes, that is true. Also, she's saying in the chat, also, he would give each protester $7 a month. What a joke. Yeah. Literally, guys, the dictator of Iran said that he will pay protesters to stop protesting. He'll give them €7 a month to stop protesting. Crazy shit. These people are already not able to eat food because their money is worthless. And so, yes, as Puria Afshar says, you're correct. Ayatollah is a monster and Persians want him gone.
Compatriots at home in their
let's go back and see 5
major components.
There's 5 major components. Let's hear. He has a 5-point plan, 5 major components. Let's get into it.
And that involves 5 major components. The first one being, how can we strengthen the ability of our fellow compatriots at home in their fight to liberation, which brings in a critical role that the diaspora can play in bringing more attention to the subject of how we can encourage foreign governments to be in support of that campaign by means of not only maintain the pressure on the regime by a policy of maximum pressure, but have parallel to that a policy of maximum support. And the diaspora can play a great role having influence on legislators and decision makers in their respective countries in where the Iranians in England with the British government or in Germany and so on and so forth. Understanding that the path to Iran's salvation and what will happen post-regime collapse, when and how it will happen, the timeline is difficult to predict, but let's say it is inevitable, and we already see signs of defections to be the beginning of the end and so forth, not to mention the fact that the regime is at its weakest now, ever since its inception.
They've lost Syria.
They lost their proxies, they lost Syria, and of course the economic situation is always one of the critical writing factors as to when is it that society finally will say, this is it. So the second aspect is to, again, in terms of calling upon Western governments, particularly the European governments, who I believe are behind the curve as far as where the Iranian people are, and are still in the mindset of status quo negotiation as opposed to let's move to the ultimate solution, to convince them that this is the better approach, because that other approach has failed and time is of the essence, particularly if the argument is, well, is it going to escalate to more conflict? Well, it's precisely for that reason that before we get to that point, we now have a window of opportunity, which is unique, and we should utilize that window of opportunity, not only to avoid an escalation of conflict, but to have a resolution to what is the ultimate solution, which is a change of regime in Iran. And the fourth component of this is that based on that, it will create more division within the regime. It will maximize defections from the regime. And the path to the post-regime collapse during the transition is how do we first establish a transitional government that manages the temporary affairs of the country, which goes without saying, but also to lay the ground for the elections of a constitutional assembly, where if the opposition differs ultimately in the final form, that's the debate that we reserve for that moment. In other words, our duty as Iranian citizens and patriots and Democrats is not to be feeling that we have the mandate to decide for our people, but to make sure that the democratic process takes place, and ultimately it's the ballot box that will decide. The important thing and the basis of this campaign of rallying.
I just realized, on a totally separate note, he's wearing my watch. That's the Rolex Submariner, but it's the Sea Dweller Submariner, the slightly larger version. Very cool.
The troops and orchestrating a coalition of the willing is the fact that it's based on the premise of understanding the minimal requirements of agreeing on certain principles that are, I think, critical in the sense of the national outlook. It's Iran's territorial integrity, the importance of a secular democratic system, meaning the separation of church and state as a prerequisite to democracy, which is non-negotiable. And of course, human rights, which has to be the basis of all the elements that guarantees people all aspects of citizens' rights, equality.
So what he just said right now is very important. I'm going to back it up
putting
an hair
an end
just
to
so
any
you can
form
understand.
of outlook. It's Iran's territorial integrity.
So there's a few things that he's saying are some almost like I don't know if he used the word non-negotiables, but they are some like the basis, like the very basic things that need to happen. Iran. So
the important national outlook. The premise of understanding the minimal requirements of agreeing on certain principles that are, I think, critical in the sense of the national outlook. It's Iran's territorial integrity, the importance of a secular democratic system, meaning.
So Iran's territorial integrity. So Iran having a country and being a country and having its territory and being able to call its own country its own. So having its own country. The other one is having a separate church and state. So right now we all know it's the Islamic regime of Iran. So obviously Persians, not only do they not want Islam, they don't want any religion to be part of their government or what's ruling over them. People ask me all the time, if Persians are not Muslim, what are they, or what will they become in Iran? I don't think Persians, most Persians will not be religious. Most Persians are not religious. And as a result of what has happened with Islam and the way Islam was used to cause, to allow the government to abuse powers and to take advantage of people, kill people, put people in prison, do all the horrible things. Persians are for sure not wanting to be Muslim. I've heard that the largest, if they're going to be any religion, the largest religion right now that Persians are outside of Islam, obviously, is Christian. Most Persians are Christian. Of course, there is Zoroastrian. Persians were originally Zoroastrian prior to Arabs conquering Persia way back in the day. Again, Persians were Zoroastrian. Nowadays, they're only Muslim by force, and if the Islamic regime is gone, no Persians are going to be Muslim, okay? Almost none, unless they're deeply, deeply brainwashed, and it's been generations in their families, and they don't even know anything else. There's that. However, the largest that I've heard is Christianity, and after Christianity is, I believe, Jewish and Zoroastrian. So that is to be determined. Obviously, I don't know enough, and I'm just learning as we all are. So there's that. Let's listen to the other basic things he's talking about.
The separation of church and state as a prerequisite to democracy, which is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And of course, human rights, which has to be the basis of all the elements that guarantees people all aspects of citizens' rights, equality, putting an end to any form of discrimination.
So human rights. So he said that there's some basic, very basic things that are going to be necessary. One of them is Iran having its territory. Another one is secularism, so having a separate church and state. And the third one is human rights. And that's why I hear sometimes Tusi on, Mario Tusi, which is the guy sitting on the other side, interviewing him, this is his channel that we're watching right now. He has said that, there should not be a republic. There should be a democracy, or basically, a monarch, basically the Shah of Iran running the country, the guy on your right. My position on this is that it should be the same, in my opinion, the same as America, the same as the United States. It should be what's called a constitutional republic. And for people that are not familiar with what that means, and people that think that America is a democracy, they think that USA is a democracy, they think that there should be a democracy in these other countries and all this kind of stuff. Yes, however, a pure democracy is not the answer, and I'll explain to you why. Having a constitutional republic, what that means is, first of all, a constitution. So what he just said right now was secular, so having a separate church and state, having a territory, having human rights. There's a number of things that I think should be added to that list, and that would be part of a constitution that is in place. So there should be a constitution that says you have your freedom of speech, you have your right to bear arms. So you don't have another situation where a crazy Muslim kind of a power or group comes in and takes power of your country. The civilians need to be able to fight back for themselves. Okay. And so in addition to what the Crown Prince is saying and what Mario Tusi wants, I think there should be a constitutional republic. Constitution as the baseline says, listen, we have freedom of speech, right to bear arms, we have freedom, we have human right, we have right, all the stuff that we have in our Constitution, and obviously separate church and state and all that kind of stuff. And then you have representatives. Okay, you can vote as a democratic type of a vote, right? You can have democratic votes to put people in power to represent you, and they can also, those people would basically, which is what we have in our country. We have representatives. Every state has its own representatives, and they represent us and our wants and our needs. And here is the reason why. Okay, if you guys don't understand this about America and about constitutional republic, here is the reason why you don't want a pure democracy. Think about this for a second. In America, if 51% of our country voted to say no more freedom of speech, then that means 51% of our country can literally decide for all of us in a pure democracy, could decide that we no longer will have freedom of speech. Also, if 51% want it, they can say we no longer have the right to bear arms. So that wouldn't work for us in America. And that is not something that is allowed in America. Why? Because we have a constitution in place. We have this thing called the Constitution, and it says even 90%, if 90% of us right now got together and said, we're going to vote to take away our freedom of speech, you can't do that. It's our minimum right that we have. We have our Constitution. It gives us freedom of speech. It gives us freedom of expression. It gives us the right to bear arms. All of these different things that are in our Constitution. I'm giving you some of the main points that are important to me and that will be important to Iran. Okay, those are the things that can't be taken away. That's why, to all of my fellow Americans, all of my fellow Persians, all of my fellow humans on this planet, if you want to understand something, you gotta figure this out. A pure democracy makes no sense. It does not make sense. There should be a basic constitution in place, and then you have voting, democracy to vote on all the other stuff that's important to us. We have representatives that represent us, and we're able to make decisions based on this system, and it's worked out really well for us as a country. And for that reason, America is the greatest country on the planet, and it is the example that every other country in the world follows. Okay? So that's I had to break that down because it's very obvious that a lot of people don't understand the difference between a democracy and a constitutional republic. Anna Kemp is in the chat, says, that's why President Trump is not a dictator. Correct. Thank you, Anna Kemp. That is exactly why Trump is not a dictator. Trump is not a king. Trump doesn't rule the country. We have a constitution. That's what rules our country, really, is our constitution. Okay? And then we have representatives. Of course, we have a president that has powers, and we voted for him to do what he can do within his powers that he's given. So there's that. I'm sure, that's something that we need to, discuss again. And I'm sure I'm going to repeat that a lot of times. So maybe I'll get better and do it faster. But that was my slow version. Hopefully that was clear. I'm going to get to a couple of you guys. So yeah, you guys all, yep. Democracy has proven ineffective in Greece. There must be moral laws that can't be overturned. Correct. Exactly.
Now or in the future. So these are the elements that I think constitutes a very broad base of Iranian Democrats that may be different in ideas. There could be Republicans, there could be monarchists, there could be people on the left, in the center, and the right. But I think that's the basic premise of where we can say this is what is the operating principles that we can work together on, and invite those who are now peeling away from the regime, joining with us from yesteryear's reformists that are now disillusioned and want to work past the regime. And that's
so again, guys, I want to get back. I want to get to some of these stuff. There's a lot happening in Iran. There's a lot of protests.
The flag of Iran, the lion and sun, which is extremely illegal in a normal situation. Viewers right now who drew for now, as I said, tomorrow.
By the way, you guys, there are, just so you guys know, Persians love Trump. Persians love Trump so much. They have literally, during these protests, and I'm going to put it on the screen at some point here soon. They have literally, think about this, they have changed the names of their streets to Trump Street. Donald Trump Street. You won't believe it. Here's something that they have. I'll read it to you if you can't read it. Trump is a symbol of truth. Don't let them kill us. Yes. DJR says 51st state. And I have said this, guys, and I'm going to say it again. I personally would love for Iran to be one of the United States. Not to change the culture, not to change the country, not to change the people, but to make it something that can never be changed again, something that cannot fall into the hands of bad actors, something that protects the country, allows the culture and the people and everyone to flourish, to progress, to be successful, to have better lives. I think it would be way better. I know it sounds funny, silly, weird, crazy, all kinds of different things, but I truly think it's kind of a joke. In the beginning I was talking about, but now I think, why not? Anyway, let me get to this other thing here. Okay, this person, Mirado21 says, I am messaging you from Tehran. The Iranian people are grateful for the support of the American people. Let me put this on the screen. I am messaging you from Tehran, this person says. The Iranian people are grateful for the support of the American people and especially the support of President Trump. God bless America. King Reza Pahlavi. And they did an emoji there. Yes, thank you, Mirado. Love to hear from you from Iran, from Tehran. My parents are from Tehran, and I've been to Tehran multiple times, and it's I really truly have dreamt of the day that Iran is free and Persian people are free. I can't wait for that moment. I can't wait to go to Iran and have a beer in the streets and hang out and cheers you guys all and hug everyone and kiss everyone and I really there's a soft spot in my heart and obviously for obvious reasons, but you guys have to know I've been dreaming of a free Iran ever since I was a kid. And if I talk about this a little more, I'll probably start crying, and so I'm just going to continue. So here we go.
They're going to go mental probably, but Tehran people have control.
They're saying Javid Shah. That means long live the Shah. Okay, that's literally what it means. And what you guys are saying in the chat, Just Dying to Live says, Iran becoming Christian would be world changing. Yes, and that is why so many of us Persians come out and say a stable Iran, a good leadership in Iran means a stable Middle East, a leadership in Iran, a government in Iran that allows people to practice what religions that they want to practice would mean that Persians will actually not be Muslim. They will be Christian. They will be Jewish. They will be Zoroastrian. They will be anything but Muslim. And the polls are showing what I've recently seen in what I've been researching, that the majority of Persians side with Christianity more than any other religion. And yes, you are correct. If Iran becomes free of this tyrannical government, you can almost bet everything you have that Iran will be mostly Christian. More than any other religion, Persians will be Christian in Iran if they're going to be any religion at all. Persians, my guess is a very large majority of them will not even be religious, but if they will be Christian more than any other religion. Imagine what type of a difference that will make in the Middle East. The country that is funding, the government of Iran, which is funding Muslim terrorism. Imagine it flipping and becoming Christian. That's crazy. That's insane. Imagine, guys, you can't even, it's hard to even imagine what that would be like. It's absolutely wild. And that's why when people tell me, or people, I have lots of people argue with me in the chat, off the chat, and, at the gym, anywhere, they say, why do we care about Iran? We should be America first. We need to fix America first. Yes, we are working on America. We're doing all the things that we can to America to fix our country. However, imagine how much that benefits us in America and the Americans when the country of Iran becomes flipped from a Muslim terrorist country to a peaceful let's just say Christian country. Is it like, can you imagine how much that benefits America? And another thing I will say, again, you guys may not be aware, but the government of Iran has a hit out on Trump and other people in the government of America and other governments that are Western governments around the world. Okay? It's the number 1 terrorism country. You guys are absolutely right. You guys are absolutely right. He's Iraq now. Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. Iran already tried to make nukes and they have sold weapons en masse. Yeah, they're doing all of the worst things possible you can ever imagine. I told you guys before, I'll say it again. Iran pays everyone around them to do all of their bad deeds, all of their crazy Islamic terrorist stuff. They train soldiers and other government people in other parts of the world to become terrorists. They do that, and they've been doing that.
It's saying, long live the king. Death to dictator.
Again, and this reminds me of another thing. Right now, they're yelling "Marg bar dictator." Marg bar means death to, dictator means dictator. They're saying death to their dictator, the guy that's running, the guy that is the dictator who is ruling the Islamic regime, the government of Iran. They're wishing death to that dictator because they want to get rid of this tyrannical government. Now, this reminds me, are you guys all aware that since 1979, since this tyrannical government took power, they have been yelling Marg bar America and Marg bar Israel. Death to America and death to Israel. And death to, honestly, any Western country. Any progressive, forward-thinking, successful Western country, they wish death to them. It's not a joke. It's not anything silly. It's not anything that should be taken lightly. They literally say Marg bar America, death to America, and they teach that to the children starting from elementary school. They have children saying death to America. This is real. And they start children young all the way up. But guess what? Even though they try to brainwash children at early ages, they still cannot get Persians to go against America and against Western nations, because the Persians, they have internet. They're not morons. They get to see what everyone else is doing in the rest of the world. They get to see that they're being ran by a tyrannical government. They're being destroyed by their own government. So they know that. This is a different time. Islamic governments and Islamic rulers and Islamic terrorists, they think that they can brainwash people. Well, you can if you're in Gaza and you don't allow them to have internet and they don't have any resources and they can't see what's going on. Of course, they're going to think that you're right and that the other powers are horrible. But when you have countries that have access to the internet and can see what the hell is going on in the rest of the world and realize their government's crazy, they're not going to go along with that bullshit. I'm going to get to some questions here. So D. Kyle says, people on the left are saying that the tariffs is having a negative effect on the America. No, it's not. Anna Kemp says, pray for that daily. There is power in pray. Yep. Antonetta says, imagine. Yes. Min says, Medi have internally hope flame about Iran, about ready to cry. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, America's janitor? What's up, buddy? Good to have you back. And yes, guys, we are moving right along here. Let's keep going. We are watching the protests that are happening in Iran.
Now, of course, the Islamic Republic are still preparing for a potential imminent war with Israel and the United States. But people in Iran are very clear about their views. They are saying we don't want Islam and we don't want Republic. We want our king back.
They're saying they don't want their tyrannical government. They want the Shah of Iran to come back. And by the way, having this flag in Iran is a crime. They'll be put in jail for that. That's the flag of the time of the Shah. And now that flag's been changed to become an Islamic flag. So this old flag, classic flag, is illegal. Them going around with this flag is risking their lives. Them doing, obviously, all these protests is risking their lives.
We don't want republic.
What's up, nurse? Forgot to say hello. What's happening? Good to have you.
این آخرین نبرد پهلوی برمیگرده. پاینده ایران جاوید شاه. 16 دی 404 خمین.
So this is in Markazi in Khomein. So saying.
By the way, guys, these Persian girls that you see right now dressed up and covered up, they never wanted to cover up and dress up like this. They're only doing it because they risk their lives if the government finds them and sees who they are and goes out and hunts them down. Once this stuff is all over, Persians, they dress more westernized than I mean, they dress way different.
We don't want republic. We want our king, and also saying join the revolution and the king and the people. This is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. Long live Iran. Long live the king. And the IRGC transportation, cars, vans, buses, everything in Ilam, where the two cities have fallen, have been completely destroyed.
Robert in the chat is asking about what I think about what Iraq was doing in the 1980s and 90s. Yes, Iraq was doing some crazy, you're right, clandestine nuclear weapons programs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they were doing a lot of stuff. And they also started a war with Iran when the Islamic government took over, because they knew the Islamic government did not know how to run a government. So they found it as a weak government, and they decided to attack Iran. And as a result of that, millions of Iranians got killed in that war. This vehicle that you see burning on your screen, from what I was told, what I remember hearing about this vehicle was a vehicle that would bring in people from other parts of basically Iran, other parts of the world. They bring people in to help the government fight off these protesters. Now, if you don't know, here's another nugget. The government of Iran has been paying and hiring, and as I told you before, they've been training other people in other countries to become terrorists. Now, they've been importing these people from Yemen, from Lebanon, from other countries around them, bringing them in to help them in this war against the protesters. So literally the government is bringing people from around the world into Iran to fight its own people. And this vehicle is one of those vehicles that would transport these people in to those locations, and they captured it and are burning it.
Now, again, just as a reminder, it was 3 days ago, when we reported 2 days ago about Khamenei's backup plan, which is to obviously leave for Moscow if they can't handle this, if they fail to successfully do a crackdown. And since
D. Kyle is saying in Instagram, America is heading for a recession. I don't know where you got that from, but not that I know of. Actually, I'm looking forward to a fantastic 2026. There's a lot to look forward to in our economy, in America, across the world. If the rest of the world can take our example and be inspired by what we've done and what Trump is doing, it will be a wonderful 2026.
then it's been, well, at least 2 days. So
it's already shaping up to be a great. Look at that. Venezuela is being freed of its crazy dictator that has been terrorizing its people and destroying its country. And now imagine if Iran switches from becoming an Islamic terrorism state to becoming a peaceful Christian country, or a non-religious country, just a peaceful country. Can you imagine what will happen? That's unbelievable. I can't imagine how that's going to be. Already, it's a cleanup. Trump came in, he's cleaned up America, he's continuing to clean up America, he's set up our economy to be successful and is doing more things to make sure that happens. He's bringing manufacturing jobs back. He's having companies like NVIDIA, Apple, Toyota, all of these major companies are building again in America, new plants. And on top of all that, he's ended many wars. He's also gone and taken out Maduro, which was housing China and Russia in South America. And he's also now leading by example, and he's an inspiration to countries like England and France and Canada and Australia. Hopefully the people in those countries can stand up for themselves and see what we're doing here and stand up for their countries. And look what's happening in Iran. Iran could change too. And this is, in my opinion, it's a massive cleanup of the planet that we live on, Earth.
If you just keep carrying on for another few days, that man is going to try and escape, especially if or when the war begins with Israel and the US. He's definitely going to run away. But for the first time, people are freely wearing the real flag of Iran, the lion and sun, which is extremely illegal in
sorry, nurse. I'm responding to some chats on Instagram and on YouTube and here and there, so it might get confusing, but my bad.
a normal situation.
So this guy walking with that flag around him, with that lion on the flag, is literally it's a major crime, and it's the flag that was in place prior to the Islamic regime. It's the flag that Persians want to be back for their country.
This is in Bushehr. Pahlavi will return.
In a moment, guys, we're gonna go back to America, but I just wanted you guys to get an update on Iran if you're not aware.
Wait, what's this idiot?
All right, so guys, I think we spent a little bit of time on Iran. We understand what is going on, and we're going to move on to some things that are happening in America. So let's go here. Gaith in the chat says, ended what wars? Well, if you're paying attention to the news, you'd know there's a lot of wars that Trump has helped end. So check it out. Take a look.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz lashing out at President Trump as he faced the press just a day after announcing that he won't seek re-election for a third term, amid growing fallout from a massive welfare fraud scandal.
Have I been perfect in this? God dang no. I wasn't perfect as a teacher. I wasn't perfect as a coach. I wasn't perfect as a soldier, but I was pretty damn good at all those things.
You're also not perfect when you lied to all the American people when you're trying to get elected and told us all these different things that you've done in your life, which you never did any of. You were a complete liar and a fraud, and you loser, and it's the quickest career I've seen in politics of this nature. Very quickly gone, and Nick Shirley chopped it down, and he is done. Nick Shirley, thank you, sir. You did us all a justice, dude. Thank you.
Game's over for him now. It was all me. I was the bad guy or whatever. Well, put up or shut up now and tell us what you're going to do to make this state better. Answer these tough questions. Quit hiding behind this and expect for the next 11 months for me to ride you like you've never been ridden, to make sure that you're doing your job. I'm not going anywhere. And you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen? I will fight this thing till the very end to make this state better. And the question that I think they need to decide is when did the guy in the White House resign? Anytime I get drug into being next to Donald Trump, God help me, I don't want to be judged against that guy.
And Axios is pointing out Walz's falls from grace. Alex Thompson says 14 months ago, Walz almost became VP and then flirted with a 2028 run. Now Walz is ending his political career amid scandal, personal burnout, and feuds with former allies, including Kamala Harris. Greg, he made some threats there.
He's threatened to ride me.
Like you've never
like I've never been ridden. Oh, man, Tampon Tim is seeing red. You know what the biggest achievement is for him? Electing Trump. Imagine if Kamala had chosen Josh Shapiro or Harold Ford. Instead, he took that slot and steered that ticket into the sea. And I credit him for his honesty. Remember when he said most white men commit crimes? I think he was talking about himself. I think he realizes he's in trouble. And when, and honestly, he is lucky if this is all that happens.
Right.
When we look at the debt, which is what, $38 trillion, we always talk about spending. But I think what we're finding out that the spending question might be a distraction from the corruption question. If it comes to a point where it's over $1 trillion, $2 trillion, it's not about spending. It's about the fact that we were so focused on spending, they were just stealing our money. And then they say, oh, we're in debt. They can raise our taxes, and in California, seize assets, claiming every dime is sacred. And I think this has opened the door. I think Nick, what's his name? Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. These guys and Musk, they've opened the door to something that we haven't really looked at in a while. Shirley says he's being hunted, and I would take that claim very seriously. When you think about Trump getting shot, almost assassinated twice, Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk being targeted, his dealerships, the cars, January 6er grandmothers, parents, Christians, white dudes at work like Jesse, who's been turned down from so many promotions because of your skin color. You don't think people want Nick Shirley dead? I mean, let's be honest. We're in a new world where there is an active campaign to go after the people who are threatening those who corrupt this country.
And from the beginning of this scandal, his message has gone, Jesse, from I've got this fraud under control to it's actually President Trump's fault.
Right. Yeah, no, Greg's right. I wanted a job at Fox Noticias.
Yes.
And I was denied. I'm going to file a suit. Yeah, ride you like you've never been ridden before. Somewhere Mayor Pete's like, I'm too gay. Dana, I've always said stupid is more dangerous than evil, and he is a perfect example. The DNC brass casted this guy as this dumb, aw shucks, white knucklehead that just bumbles around, pretends to work on cars and hunt ducks. Meanwhile, he's so asleep at the switch, everyone's backing up the Brinks truck and just looting the Treasury. But that's what Democrats want. They want dumb people in charge so their interest groups can steal from you. That's the whole problem. Greg's right. It's not a spending problem. This country is the richest country in the world, and we're in debt up to our eyebrows. And I got big eyebrows.
Bushy.
The Democrats want.
I got bigger eyebrows than him. We could go down that road, bro, if you really want to go, bro. But no, they're absolutely right. Democrats want idiots running our country so they can take advantage of us. 100%.
Substitute teachers in charge, right? Remember these people come in one day a year and all hell breaks loose because no one respects them? They want weak men and women running the show so they can steal everything from the taxpayer. And this is what they did with Joe Biden. You know what Joe Biden did? And I don't even know he did this. They stopped checking daycare centers to see if anybody was there for the last year. And they gave these people $19 billion. $19 billion went out the door, and there was no checking to see if there's any even kids there.
Insane. And yes, the brows are guys, the brows are crazy. If you're ever wondering, the brows are out of control. They stick out. It's pretty wild. Anyway, they gave away billions of dollars and they didn't even check anything, bro. What are these guys doing? Who the hell is running these states? Tampon Tim. Gavin Newsom. W cool jerk, bro. Hell yeah.
That's what Caroline Levitt said on my show last night. Harold, you'd know this if you were watching, that the DOJ is investigating Walz and all these people, and people are under indictment, and we don't even know about it yet.
Harold, how damaging is this writ large? I mean, do you think it's bigger than Tim Walz in Minnesota? Yeah, I do.
I think it happens. I think this kind of mismanagement of funds, if not stealing of funds, happens in states across the country. I think that this story here, as I shared yesterday, I think you let the chips fall where they may. I think there's a little bit of politics here, but the politics are completely overwhelmed by where it looks like the facts are taking us. So I hope that the young man that helped expose this, I hope he...
MP is exactly right. Tampon Tim. Trump is your daddy, bro. Trump is your daddy, ho. Come on, Tim. You are a complete loser, and you should resign. You got caught with your pants down, and nobody wants to see that, bro. Please help us. Just get out of there, bro. It's nasty. I can't even believe I gave you guys that visual right now.
Gets out across the country. I hope he doesn't just go to Democrat states. Go to all the states. I think we will find COVID dollars having been mismanaged from California to Maine, unfortunately. Now, I don't think that I do agree with Greg in a huge regard around what the impulse of Musk's efforts to find.
You don't even know what you're talking about, bro. You want to talk shit on Musk right now, and we're not going to have it. But yes, Entourage is right. They're great white hope, bro.
The great white hope.
Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is making our country great again. He's making the world great again. Look at what is happening, man. Look at Venezuela. Look at Iran, bro. You know what, guys? You know what? I have to show you guys where they are changing the streets in Iran to Trump, dude. Here is my Instagram, and here is the stuff that I saved for you guys. Let me see if I can pull it up here, and I think this is it right here. Look at this right here. Look at this, dude. Hold on. Let me just zoom in so you can see. This is just... They are literally changing... Look, they changed the name of the street to President Trump Street or something right there. They are literally, guys, they are changing the street names to President Trump. That's how much Persians in Iran love President Trump. President Trump said he'll back them up. He said that if the government of Iran lays a finger on these peaceful protesters, he's going to go after them. And guess what? Persians are so thankful for someone like Trump to say that. Nobody said that. So many countries had the chance. So many countries had the chance to say that. So many countries, so many leaders around the world had the chance to come out and say, we support the protesters in Iran. We support the people of Iran. Did they do that? No. Trump is the one. Trump is the man. Trump is the great white hope.
The great white hope. The great white hope.
He is the great white hope, dude. And you guys don't understand. I'm just saying it. I'm trying to explain to you now. You could kind of see with these guys changing the name of the street, bro. Look above. Look. Miss Medication has dinner ready. Yeah, let me wrap up and then I'll come. If you had a little more clothes on, you could come say hi to everybody. Come on, Miss Medication. Come on. All right, so let's watch this again. This guy literally in Iran is going, and those are, here you go. Look at this right here, bro. Look at this guy changing the street name. That's where the street name is, believe it or not. That's where it is. And he's changing it to President Trump Street, or President Trump. I think it is Street. Look at that, guys. The respect, dude. Look at the respect, bro. Liberals won't understand it. Democrats, liberals, these lunatics, they won't understand it. They won't get it. Trump is doing the things that other leaders won't do. He's brave. He's doing great things. He's doing things for humanity. And people on the left are going to go against him no matter what. Trump is bad, and that's all it is. Anything he does is Trump is bad. And here's a clip that explains it again.
Americans pretty...
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Recent Washington Post poll finds Americans pretty evenly split on the operation over the weekend. 40% approve, 42% disapprove, 18% are unsure.
Well, also it's Trump. I mean, 42% of the American people would oppose it if he cured cancer personally in the Oval Office tonight. I mean, there is a reflexive opposition to Trump. It is the entire platform of the Democratic Party. And you see Democrats today who long came on this network and others and called for Maduro's ouster, demanded it. now saying they oppose the fact that Donald Trump just arrested Maduro. This reflexive opposition to everything
It's a
Trump does is corrosive of the Democratic Party.
It's reflexive opposition. So again, guys, Trump is doing all these things around the world. If you're not aware of it, he did it with Venezuela. The people in Venezuela, around the world, even Ana Navarro from The View came out and said that she can't believe it happened and she's thrilled. She's very happy for the country. And it's the first time ever I've seen Ana Navarro say anything good about Trump or say anything he did was good. Now, that's Venezuela. If you're not aware of it, I just made you aware of Iran. He's helping the people. The people are going around literally changing their streets to Trump's name because of he's the only leader in the world that will go out and stand up for people. And he actually does it. He literally went and snatched Maduro, the guy that was devastating his own people in Venezuela. It's absolutely wild. America's Jenner says, hit the like button if you love the Rep FAFO hat. America's Jenner, dude, thank you, man. Appreciate you. And thank you to the new guy that started joining us. Where is that? Cool Jerk. Thank you, man. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody. This is the FAFO hat. It's the hat. It's navy blue with the red writing, and it's got the all red flag. Let me move this out of the way. You can see here.
The thing is, when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has.
I hit the wrong button. Look at this, guys. It's right here. This is the FAFO hat with the red flag. That means, the shit is getting serious and we need to have some conversations and turn things around. That is the hat. If you want to pick one up, feel free. repamerica.com is the website. The link is in the YouTube channel page, but it's repamerica.com. And love you guys. Thank you for joining my stream. Appreciate you guys. Got a bunch of new subscribers today. Thank you so much. Looking forward to more. We did a wonderful live stream this morning. This was a beautiful one with you guys today. Looking forward to another one tomorrow. And guys, this thing with Iran, things can go down any moment. It could happen while we go to bed because they're on the other side of the planet and they are 12 hours ahead of us or behind us, behind. And so, I don't know. I may just jump on a live if some shit goes down and make sure that we catch this together and we share the news and we celebrate if Iran becomes free. Guys, we live in America. Be thankful. Cherish America. Preserve America. Appreciate America. Back up America. Stand up for your country. Everyone else around the world, look at us, look at Trump, look at our country. Take it as an example for you two to stand up for your country. We represent America, and we also want to lead by example, and we want to be an inspiration to other people. And we hope that you guys can see what we're doing. And I know that Trump has been an inspiration around the world. I know that Trump is the reason why a lot of these things are happening. A lot of England, the people in England are standing up. I think a major reason is because of, number one is Elon Musk, a lot for freedom of speech on X. You got Trump, everyone. Guys, we are living a great time. This is a major, major, major correction that's being made. We are part of it. We're part of it together. We all represent America. We all rep America. I love you guys. Thank you for joining my stream today, and I will catch you on the next stream. Guys, before I go, thank you to my moderators. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys are unbelievable. Min was in there, hanging in there, dude. State Line, everybody, thank you. State Line, good to have you, bro. Everybody, man, thank you guys. All of you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.